The project was initiated by the Portfolio of Internal and External Affairs under the chairmanship or directorship of Mr. Eric Bush.
The decision was first made by the Governor and Cabinet in November 2009. This was after a spate of robberies and violent crime and a murder in the Georgetown area.
There was a huge public outcry asking for the government to do more to prevent serious crime. Over a period of time, we looked at a number of different initiatives, whether it was strengthening our legislation, giving the police and our other law enforcement agencies more resources, looking at how we could build a community support, and also then looking at a national CCTV project.
Cameras can be used in very different ways. We're working with the CCTV project to identify those specific public places within the Cayman Islands that have a disproportionate number of crimes that take place. We call them hotspots. So we identified those hotspots as part of the project and said if we had our input, we would like cameras monitoring these public spaces, because in these public spaces crime to a different level takes place.
The first phase of a little over $2 million that was funded by government covers some 224 cameras in the 5 districts of Grand Cayman.
If the public don't feel safe, if our tourists don't feel safe in islands, then we will fail as a jurisdiction. We have always been known for being a very safe society. You know, people always talking about coming to Cayman for the 3 S's, the sand, the sea, and the sun. And I always add a 4th one, which is safety. And is that safety why we are doing the things that we're doing now in terms of having the national CCTV project?
People should be under no illusion. The police and the government are here to keep people safe. The technology that we're expending across the island is only a piece of equipment unless we use it intelligently. So we will do all that we can to expand the eyes of the state for the best interests of its citizens and the security of those citizens. And this isn't about being intrusive. It's not about invading your privacy. It's about making sure you can go about your day-to-day life in peace and security.
All of the images and cameras are pointed on public roads. They're not in anyone's backyard or anywhere that a person has a reasonable expectation of privacy. During this exercise, we created a very robust code of conduct that instructs the law enforcement agencies as well as the operators of the system and the administrators of what they can and can't do, and to ensure that anything that is done with the system is proportionate to the threat or the crime that they're investigating.
We've consulted with the Human Rights Commission and we've gotten their feedback. In the near future, there should be legislation actually coming in that will actually regulate how authority can lawfully breach someone's right to privacy. There will also be an independent review commission of that.
In response to the tender that was published by the Portfolio of Internal and External Affairs and the Government of the Cayman Islands, the Security Center partnered with a company out of the US called Avrio RMS. And our design included a hybrid fiber optic and wireless video surveillance solution utilizing state-of-the-art video management software as well as industry standard and recognized cameras and equipment. As a result of putting all these pieces of the puzzle together, a complete hybrid system was proposed to the government.
The system is mainly based on a fiber network. We use government-owned fiber and some CUC fiber. The data speeds are relatively high, so we do have wireless in some locations, but those are backhauled onto fiber to get back into the storage systems. The fiber is also then used to connect up the monitoring station and the police stations that monitor the CCTV cameras. So fiber is really the backbone of moving all the data around.
The hybrid system is a combination of fixed and PTZ cameras, which stands for Pan, Tilt, Zoom. The cameras are 1080p high definition cameras with low light infrared ability for intersections and junctions where the lighting isn't at optimal levels. At the conclusion of this phase, we'll have approximately 200 fixed and PTZ cameras spread across all of Grand Cayman in all of the districts. All footage will be fed to a secure government location where the server will be storing the feeds from each of those cameras.
The storage is actually cutting edge. If you can imagine storing data from near 500 high definition cameras and keeping it all intact for 60 days while allowing it to be viewed by several different monitors at the same time it's being recorded, it's quite a handful.
The 911 Command and Control Center then have direct access into that server to be able to actively monitor any of the camera feeds or passively extract any feeds that have previously been recorded. The monitoring center have the ability to control the PTZ cameras to have them swing around and focus on particular incidents or scenes.
The CCTV operator is continuously monitoring the radio. So they're listening to radio traffic and incidents as they unfold during the course of the day. During their training, they've received instructions on how to be probative and proactive in listening and looking for stuff. On their day-to-day patrol, video patrol, they would look for things that they are accustomed to hearing on the radio or look for incidents as they're unfolding over the radio. We will be able to communicate directly with them, give them instantaneous information as to incidents that we have identified so that they can deploy the necessary resources to address it.
In addition to the 911 Command and Control Center, each outstation or each police station in each of the districts have their own independent command and control center. So if there's a particular incident, if there is a special event that's going on in a district, the law enforcement personnel can actually set up and man a command and control center within the district, and they can temporarily take control of the cameras within the district.
At the other end of it, we've got some cameras that are very special that actually read number plates on cars as they go through. Automatic number plate recognition cameras.
Basically, it's a system that allows us to capture the images of license plate numbers as they pass through the camera, which is fed back into a database. That database is searched against any flags, if you will, that may have been put in there. The two systems, the CCTV system as well as ANPR, complement each other. They work in tandem. Part of the purpose for ANPR is to actually allow law enforcement to monitor the movement of vehicles. Example, we have persons involved in gang activity, and we want to monitor their activity and where they're moving and who they're associating with. ANPR actually allows us to do that.
We have received, again, government funding this year, albeit not enough to complete the entire design. So I am hoping that the private sector will be able to contribute something to the program, and we will be able to fill in those gaps in Grand Cayman and even to complete Cayman Brac. If we had all the money in the world and everything was procured as per the regulations and guidelines, we could see it all complete in 4 months.